Hello from my hostel bed in Tel Aviv, Israel. I started traveling about 6 weeks ago. I'm in between jobs, so I decided, hey, why don't I hop on a plane and go explore the world? So I checked to see. I live near Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So I checked to see, okay, from Vancouver, what's the cheapest place to fly in Europe? I thought I was just going to do a tour of Europe, and now I ended up in Israel. So London, for 300 Canadian dollars, I could fly. I booked it the day before my flight. 300 Canadian dollars. So I went to London. From there, went to southern France and ended up in Greece, and now I'm in Israel. So I'm just winging it, really. I've been such a hardworking person my whole life, working up to 7 days a week, morning to night sometimes. So I now have no responsibility and some money in my bank account. So I thought, why don't I just travel for as long as I can, for as cheaply as possible. So I'm in a hostel room right now. Auberge de jeunesse is what it's called in French, youth hostel, and just traveling and seeing where the wind blows. And I have this spreadsheet that I started. I didn't know, I don't have my whole trip planned. I'm just going little by little. I had some ideas. Like what I did was, I'm a swing dancer, not professionally, but just do it for fun. I'm addicted to Lindy Hop swing dancing. I love, I'm starting to learn to enjoy Balboa. I like collegiate shag. I love Charleston. I love Lindy Hop. So I looked to see what events are happening in Europe. I saw that there was a blues festival in Toulouse, and I didn't know much about blues. So I've gone to a couple blues nights when I go to swing camps, and I kind of just try to follow, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I went to a blues, it's called the Toulouse Blues Marathon in southern France, and I took beginner classes there so I could learn the basics of the rhythms and the moves of blues. So I picked a few dance camps that I thought maybe I'll do, one on this week, 3 weeks later I'll do this one, a couple more weeks later I'll do that one, and then in between just decided to explore cities, explore cultures, and enjoy other lands. So I started a spreadsheet on my computer, and the fuchsia is the swing camps. So and I'm just filling it up as I go. It's not completed yet. So I've got one swing camp done, which is the Toulouse Blues Camp. Then I went to Greece, and I've got a second one there. And then maybe I go to another 1 or 2 more swing camps coming up. So I'm recording on this spreadsheet all my lodgings, my flights, train, bus, how much it costs. I'm filling it up as I go because I don't have a plan, but I do want to keep track. And I see on this spreadsheet that I started off, I was kind of scared of hostels. I'm like, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a 20-year-old anymore, a 19-year-old full of life and used to having roommates and loudness and all that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to stay in hostels. I didn't know what they were like. Now I think they're great, but I only wanted to stay in hotels or Airbnbs. Now, hotels were too expensive. I didn't want to spend more than $60-some a night. I thought that was cheap because hotels you can't get usually for under 100, 150. So I thought I was doing pretty well. I started off a hostel for $66 a night, $62. Then I found one for $47. Airbnb, $55. Wow, I'm getting better. Then up to $74. That's the most I've paid for. That one was actually a hotel. In that city, I was in Cannes, France, a very posh city. So the cheapest I found there, and it was really close to the beach, was 74 Canadian. Now these are Canadian dollars, so in American that's like $50. So it's still pretty cheap for a hotel. That's the most I paid. These are all in Canadian dollars. 74 is the most expensive. Then I went to $56. My first hostel in Nice, France, $56. Then went down to $50, then $37, then $20, $33 for one of them, $15 in Jerusalem, $15 for a hostel. So I decided to just go and embrace the cheap travel lifestyle and just stay in hostels. And I read reviews online to see what people are saying. The one in Jerusalem is so cheap Actually, that's 15 US dollars. It should be 20 Canadian dollars. I'm keeping track of it in my currency. But for $20, it had nice privacy curtains on the beds. Everything was clean. They had free washer dryer. It's called the Stay-In Hostel in Jerusalem. So that was so cheap. In Israel, things are generally expensive, food and such, but hostels are pretty cheap, so that's nice. I'm staying right now 1 street away from the beach. It's not my favorite hostel. It doesn't have any privacy curtains or anything. These are just cheap old beds. But I'm staying in a female-only room. I had the option, so why not? Just females. And super cheap. Shower whenever you want, sleep whenever you want. If you've got your eye mask and your earplugs, you can sleep whenever you want and block out the noise with earplugs. But I am really, really enjoying it. I recommend that all of you travel more if you can. Some of you like to do day trips, like or road trips, and that's fun too. But I found that this has been so good for me, like to just relax, learn to just take it easy and live with roommates and meet new people. Everywhere I go, I'm meeting new people. I love to Lindy Hop, swing dance, so I'm meeting a lot of people. Swing dancing, I got to Tel Aviv one day, I think it was the next day, I went swing dancing in Israel, and swing dancing, even in Israel, it's amazing. Everywhere around the world you can find it. And a super nice Lindy Hopper invited me to celebrate Shabbat with his family, so that was super nice. I got to experience my first Shabbat, like it's the meal before that starts the Sabbath in the Jewish religion. So I was able to participate in my first Shabbat and really enjoyed that. But I meet people everywhere. In Cannes, I was checking into my hotel. The most expensive one I had was $74 US, Canadian, sorry, about $50 US. And the lady was checking in right before me. She turned around, she goes, "Are you alone?" She says, "Oh, let's have supper together." So there's a nice French lady. I think she probably said that in French. My brain does French and English back and forth, and I'm pretty sure she was speaking in French. So we went out for supper that night at a nice Italian restaurant, and I get to meet people all over the place. Now, some people you have to be careful. They're friendly, but maybe they have the bad intentions. So if you're a female traveler, especially if you're alone, just be careful. There's very nice guys out there. They're like, "Oh, let me buy you a drink. Let me buy you a gift. Let's hang out." Well, be careful who you hang out with. I don't trust easily at all. I'm not a trusting person. In the Lindy Hop community, way more. I know this is a community, they're all connected usually to the same Facebook group. You can track them, you know who they are. You can easily find them again. But random people on the street, if they're male, I'm a bit more cautious. Female, I don't have to worry. Usually females. I mean, I'm not a young spring chicken, so I can't imagine somebody half my age traveling, how much attention they must be getting and how much opportunity for trouble. So I'm older and wiser than most backpackers or travelers throughout Europe and Asia, but I'm enjoying meeting people. Just conversations, just random conversations. I'm walking in the mall in Tel Aviv, and there's a fruit and vegetable shop. And so I ended up I'm not in any rush because I'm traveling. I'm on vacation. So I talked to the shopkeeper for quite a long time. We discussed politics, very interesting. So I meet random people while traveling, have interesting, sometimes conversations are not so great. Maybe in some hostels, like you've got the right-wing people and the left-wing people. Actually, I'm usually the only right-wing person. Everybody else is left-wing in the hostel, maybe. The ones I've talked to anyways. So sometimes our views are not the same, so maybe it's better not to discuss politics or social issues or things like that. But I enjoy good, stimulating conversations, so I'm having a great time. Just wanted to kind of come on here and tell my friends and family that I'm safe, first of all, and I had this opportunity today in my hostel room to not have any roommates right now. None of them have shown up all afternoon, so I shot a series of videos to show you what I'm doing, how I traveled, what kind of packing cubes I used, kind of purse, what kind of towel, all that. I figured before I traveled, I watched like a nerd a bunch of videos. How are people backpacking? What's the best backpack? I chose not to be a full-on backpacker. I chose to have a little rolling bag with a little backpack that fits one on top of the other, so I could just roll it. And if the road is not very good, it's not paved, it's little stones or whatever, I could just put the backpack on, have the little rolling bag just lift it up for a few minutes, not heavy. So I'm having a blast. Start off in London, went to Toulouse, Nice, Carcassonne, Cannes. I even went to Monaco, the little country of Monaco, and it took me 1 hour to walk along the whole country from one end of Monaco to the other. So it's kind of neat to be able to say I've walked across a whole country, but it's Monaco, it's tiny little kingdom. Then I went to Cologne, Germany, but just for 3 hours. I had a layover and I thought, man, I'm in Germany for 3 hours. I'm not going to stay in the airport. So I went out, took the train into the city, and saw a couple of the sites really quickly and got the most delicious food. So good. And then went back on the train, went back to catch my flight. And then I went to Greece, Thessaloniki, Greece. There's a lot of biblical sites in the old world. North America doesn't have much history, but Thessaloniki is a historic Bible site. And then from there, I went to a swing camp in, the name of the campground escapes me right now, but it's about an hour and a half bus ride from Thessaloniki to nice beaches. The camp called Swing and Swim in Greece. They've had it for 10 years now. It was their 10th year anniversary. So I went and had a fun 7-day of swing dancing. I love swing dancing. I'm addicted. It's been 2.5 years now. I started off with ballroom. Ballroom is fun, but it's a bit more formal and more stiff. And usually you have to have a partner to go to a ballroom dance, because usually just couples dance with each other the whole time and that's it. Whereas Lindy Hop, you just show up alone or with friends, whatever, and you just can dance with anybody and everybody. So I really love Lindy Hopping, and you have it all over Europe. In Israel, I landed here one day, went swimming the next day. I also did swim here. I'm right by the beach. Greece, I was swimming and swinging. Here, I'm swimming and swinging. Swing dancing, that is. But I'm just one minute walk away from the beach here. So I love it. That's why I chose this hostel. Not because it's the best. It's okay. It's fine. But it's really close to the beach, so I can grab my swimsuit and go swimming. Especially it gets so hot in Israel. There is air conditioning in our rooms, so I'm very thankful for that. But once you step outside, I'll just bring my beach towel with me, walk around, sightsee for a while, and then go maybe for a swim. And then tonight there's another swing dance. I was swing dancing last night, and tonight there's another swing dance. So I'm mostly sightseeing with a lot of swing dancing at night. Every couple nights I find a swing dance somewhere. I was in Jerusalem and they had a blues night, so I enjoyed that. Met some new people there too. Jerusalem was amazing. I shot a couple of videos there and I hope to go back. But it was very emotional actually. I shot a couple of videos that I haven't published yet. I don't know if I will, but where as I got closer and I saw the walls, and I know it's not the original Jerusalem, it's been destroyed a couple times, but to be in the same site where Jesus Christ died, in the same area where so much of the history of the Jewish people, finally they got a piece of land back. That they were scattered. We know the history, it's horrendous, of the Jewish people, but so many emotions as when I saw the city, the walled city, and I approached him, like it hit me like a ton of bricks, the history, where I was, like wow, the Bible history, the Jewish history there. And then to see how Israel is divided into, Jerusalem into 4 quarters. There's the Armenian quarter, Christian quarter, Muslim quarter, and Jewish quarter. And walking and seeing the Western Wall, the the original wall of the original temple that still remains. And then I also went up on the Temple Mount, which is now occupied by Muslims. So they have two mosques on there, the Rock of the Dome, and this is where the original Jewish temple was. But now it's in the hands of the Muslims, and it is, all that is built. The Temple Mount is apparently Mount Moriah, where I think the first reference, maybe, I'm not a Bible scholar, but the first reference of Mount Moriah was when Abraham took Isaac to sacrifice him, and God put a stop to it. So it is on a mountain. Very interesting. And this is where the temple was built. First temple destroyed, second temple, and I believe there will be a third temple built, third Jewish temple, eventually, based on scripture. And so just history just has to run its course. God has written, availed to us in the Bible what has happened in the past, how we should live our lives today, and what is to come. There are prophets that have prophesied what will come. There's the book of Revelation, and I believe that, I don't have to worry about how things are what's happening today in the world. Sometimes I get so irritated what's going on politically, what's going on socially. Oh, I get so irritated. I think we're getting dumber and dumber as we go on. We're not getting smarter for the most part, making dumb decisions politically and anyways, socially. But in the end, God does win. The Bible does say so. God does win. So no matter what's going on today, no matter what wars are going on, God will be victor. And I know I have a place in heaven someday that awaits me, not for anything that I've done personally. I'm a sinner like everybody else. We're all sinners. I deserve hell. But when I was 6 years old, my dad was preaching, and he said that I knew all the Bible stories. I had the knowledge, just like Satan has the knowledge, but I didn't have Christ in me. I hadn't accepted his free gift of salvation. So my dad, when I was 6 years old, preached, and he said that at the end, that if